Hello, Professor Cadney's here, and I'm going to tell you how to do your quotation sandwich assignment. So since we're in the persuasive essay unit, we're working towards writing essays that are in conversation with other people. And those people may be people you talk to, or they may be people who you read in your books in college. So when you're writing a persuasive essay, you can be more convincing if you're able to draw on the points of others to support your arguments. So in order to do that, there's a method for integrating other sources. And this same method can basically be used when you want to integrate a quotation, when you want to integrate a paraphrase, which we will talk about in English 099, and when you would like to incorporate a summary, another concept that is discussed in English 099. So this quotation sandwich method is actually useful for integrating information in 3 different ways. Okay, so right now I'm going to teach you how to do a quotation sandwich, what it is, and basically how you're going to do your assignment for this week. Okay, so this is a picture of a slider. Okay, a quotation sandwich is a way to remember how to incorporate a quotation into an essay, into your own essay. Quotation is a bit of text that you take out of someone else's essay or that you write down that someone tells you. And the quotation marks that you put around it will let your reader know that it's not your ideas, but that the ideas come from somewhere else. So here we have a picture of a slider, and at the top there's a toothpick. There's a top bun. Here we go. Here's our toothpick, right? With some nice pickles and maybe, I don't even know what that is. That looks actually kind of nasty. I don't know if I'd want to eat that, but here we have the toothpick with 2 bits that seem appealing to me. We've got the pickle and the olive. This is the toothpick. This represents the topic sentence of the paragraph. This is the top bun. This represents the introduction to the quotation. This is the meat, okay? And the meat represents the quotation itself. This bottom part here, the bottom bun, is the explanation of the quotation, okay? And then the bottom part, the plate, is the link to your thesis statement in your essay, okay? And at the quotation, it's both the quotation and then also the citation. So why are you're thinking like, okay, cool, there's a hamburger. Why is there a hamburger? Just like the acronym strategies, the hamburger is a way to remember how to incorporate information. So if you're saying to yourself, I really want to put in something someone else said into my essay, I don't know how, what you should try to imagine is a hamburger. Make a hamburger come into your brain. Not just any hamburger, but a hamburger that has a toothpick, so probably a slider. Okay, because if you have that hamburger in your brain, the idea is that you'll be able to remember each of the parts of creating a quotation sandwich. Okay, so once again, and this is something, if you have a printout copy of your book, you can go ahead and label the parts of the sandwich. So the toothpick is your topic sentence, and that's just like you would always do in a paragraph, right? Top bun is introduction to the quotation. Meat is the quotation itself. With the citation, right, and I'll show you how to do that in MLA format. Then the bottom bun is the explanation, and then the plate is the link to the thesis. So you're going to actually write a quotation sandwich that might then go into your educational system essay, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you a sample. Please feel free to follow along with the sample. If the sample that we use is actually relevant to your topic, you can go ahead and put it directly into your essay. If it's not, don't do that. But so I'm gonna give you this example. So here we go. We're gonna do this assignment, and this is again something you'll put into a Word document, and then you'll upload it up onto Canvas for me for this week. Okay, so here we have. We're gonna scroll down a little bit. Okay. And the note down here just says what I told you at the beginning of the video, which is that it's the same format for paraphrase, summary, and quotation. We'll learn more about that later. Okay, so you're writing a quotation sandwich. You've written an introduction, and now you're in one of your body paragraphs. It could be any of the body paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've got 8 body paragraphs, it could be number 8. Where you put the quotation doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to start with the topic sentence. So let's say, and your topic sentence would be something like CCP can be improved with regard to developmental education. Okay. And so your thesis statement might have been CCP could be improved with regard to parking, communication with first-year students, and developmental education. And this would be the paragraph about developmental education. So this is our topic sentence. It's got your opinion, CCP can be improved, and the example with regard to developmental education. So now what we're going to do is introduce the quotation. So you're going to say, according to, and for this I'm going to use the example from Juan Reyes, a former CCP student, in his essay, Improving CCP, on page 121 of your textbook. So according to Juan Reyes, we're going to say who he is, a former community college of Philadelphia student. So we've said who it is, and notice that we've put a comma here right before we've said who he is, right, and then a comma after. Okay, it's called an appositive in grammar, but you don't need to know that. You just start explaining who it is. And then you can go ahead and say what it is that he said. Now, it's a little better if you can just give us a little bit more before you go ahead and, quote him. So maybe we'll say, a former community college of Philadelphia student weighed in on this matter in an essay entitled Improving CCP. Okay, notice that I've put the title in quotation marks because it is not my title. Okay, it's Juan's title. Okay, so we're then going to write the quotation. So we've introduced it. We've said the author. We've said who the author is, and then the title of the piece as well. If you can get the title, that's fantastic. So you can say Reyes indicated. Now, a lot of people want to say Juan. Now, Juan is a student at CCP, but because he wrote an article, and because that article is published, we want to give him the utmost respect by using his last name. So you're always going to say the last name of the authors, not just their first name. Okay, you can say first and last if you want. We could have said Juan Reyes, but don't just say Juan, okay? You want to say last name of the author. Okay, Reyes indicated that one way CCP could improve non-credit classes would be not charging us for them. Okay, so there's his point, right? So developmental education relates to non-credit classes. We found a quote that kind of supports this point. Then we're going to put the MLA citation. Now we've used his name, so we don't have to put his name in parentheses. We can just put the page number, which is 121, and then we're going to put the period. Had we not used his name, we would do this, Reyes 121. You can never go wrong with also putting the name, so you can go ahead and do that if you'd like to. The thing that's very important, just pay close attention to how this is written. So there's not a period here. There's a period at the end of the parentheses, right? There's no comma, there's no PG. It's just Reyes space 121 period, okay? That's how it is in MLA format. So it's going to take some getting used to. You do not put two periods. You don't put a period here and here. You just put a period at the end of the parentheses, okay? Okay, so it looks like open parentheses, Reyes 121, close parentheses, period. Okay, so we've got the introduction, we've got the quotation, and now we're going to explain it. In this case, the explanation should definitely be your take on his ideas if you're using it as your support. So you can say something like, when I took my English 098 class, it was very challenging. In fact, I received an MP the first time, and I had to take the class again. Because of the financial impact. I was unable to buy food during these semesters. This is a story that I've actually heard from students, right? So the financial impact of having to pay for non-credit courses can be very deep, okay? So there we've said sort of why you agree with Juan Reyes's statement. And so then, we've explained it, and now we want to link to the thesis. So we want to say something like, if CCP did not charge for non-credit classes, students would be able to meet their basic needs while in school. You can go further to say something like, where would that funding come from? Like maybe something like, the funding for the developmental education classes should come from the city of Philadelphia. And you could go on to give more suggestions if you want to, okay? So that's basically it. That's your quotation sandwich paragraph. You can expand it if you want to, but at a minimum, you want to make sure that all of these parts are here. To recap, you have your toothpick, which is your topic sentence, your introduction to your quotation, explanation or summary of quotation. The summary would be just where you sort of explain what the other author was saying, if that's relevant for your paper. And then your link to your thesis. That's like why you use that quotation and how it relates to your overall topic. So what you're going to do as a separate assignment is make your quotation sandwich paragraph so that I can give you some feedback on it. And then you can just put that quotation sandwich paragraph into your essay. Pick a topic that you do want to write about in your essay. Okay, so if you're going to write about parking, find support for that. If you do not want to use an article, you can use a friend's quotation. So the only thing that would be different is that you'd say, same thing, according to Joe Smith, a current Community College of Philadelphia student, right? Open quotes, what that person said. And then you wouldn't have to write a page number, right? Because you're talking to that person live. And that would become clear because you would say, according to this student. And you could say, according to this student who I talked to yesterday, like after class or something like that. So you can make it clear that this is through speaking rather than through the book. Okay, so I want you to create at least one quotation sandwich paragraph in your essay. Okay? All right, again, if you have any questions, please contact me. I'm happy to help you out, and you may want to watch this video a couple of times just to make sure that you're good with the content.